Well, today was recyclable day. You're killing me. Hey! Today was recyclable day and the next shipment of returns of Christmas came in, so I got more recyclables already. And not only that, Petey, come look. I woke up this morning and was leaving for work. Storm door broken, be careful. Merry Christmas. So I came out here and I've been battling this for, look at that, for years. And now it's finally broke. And now I see I can't even fix it. I was planning a repair and the actual entire thing is broken now. I thought I just had to do something with these screws that were pulling out of the door jamb. But this is a bigger problem than I thought. The storm door shot. It's old. It's waterlogged. It doesn't latch. But it kept the weather out. The entire door frame should be replaced because this door doesn't latch either. I shut it. It pulls right open. So we have to use this lock. And that locks it. So the entire thing has to be fixed. But for now, I just want to find a way to secure that storm door so it doesn't blow off and kill somebody in the meantime. So let me finish unpacking all the Christmas gifts and bringing up the recyclables and all that happy horse shit, and I'll be back in a second. Here we are. It's after Christmas in KAFKUBA land, and looks like the garbage is empty. What the It was supposed to be recyclable day. Jesus Christ almighty, I'm not gonna last another week. Fuck this. So this night's off to a bad start. Let me get all these screws out and see what we have here. Oh, this one, that just broke right off. Geez, how do I focus this thing when it's on a tripod? That's shot. The door's blown open so many times. It didn't stand a chance. Oh, why do we bother in this life? You know, I was laying in bed last night thinking, why do we drink water? Why do we eat? Why do we even bother? I mean, think about it. Everything we do to sustain our way of life is basically to meet our essential needs. Food, water, safety, shelter. And yet, at least in the America I know, or in the world I know for that matter, we spend a lot of time fussing about dilly-dallying and enjoying our leisure time and finding distractions from reality. You know, now it's video games and that sucked. Now it's video games and cell phones and, you know, but it used to be reading newspapers. Let me just get this entire thing out of the way. This just, on the door side, this just pretty much, there's a pin that lifts right out, and out comes the damper. And as you can see, this damper bracket is shot in two places. Why am I having such a hard time with this fucking camera on the tripod? Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of complaints about swearing. See, that's done. That's broke. There's only two places for it attaching, and I was hoping to use these expanders to slide in the holes and then use screws to at least get it through another couple weeks till we got this thing fixed. Anyway, let's just keep taking out screws and pins and seeing if anything changes. So anyway, I was just laying in bed thinking, you know, we spend our entire lives trying to distract ourselves from from reality. I mean, why do we live as humans if all we're going to do with our free time is distract ourselves from the only things that matter, which are survival? So, is there more to life? Has nature allowed it that we even have time to sit around doing nothing all day and staring at technology, cell phones, radios, YouTube? I mean, why aren't we happy with just the things that we need to survive? And in our off time, why aren't we focusing on the things that life has given us and focusing on our health so that we can get back out there and farm and tend to the herd? And I mean, even replacing this storm door bracket is enough to make me want to kill myself tonight, because, oh man, I had to work all day and I had to come home and I had to unscrew 4 screws. I could be playing Modern Warfare right now and having a good old time just sitting up there and ignoring my friends and family. So another thing I didn't mention is I gave up drinking for January. And yeah, I get it. It's only been 24 hours. But you know, that's 24 hours that I haven't given up previously. So no drink you areas kind of got me a little anxious and I'm a little stimulated in the mind, which I thought would be a good time to chat with my KAFKUBA fans, all 3 of them, and see if I can tackle this door project. I heard 2 things fall while I was unscrewing those screws, and it was the remainder of the bracket that broke off of this. See, on the bottom there. So that's shot, unless I decide to go with just these 2 holes here. Man, I am not having a good time with this camera on a tripod trying to screw. So anyway, I got all the screws out. You can see the amount of times. Yeah, you might be thinking, oh, this guy's got a shit show of a household here, but you know, I'm not gonna run out and replace the door frame because the screws happen to come out of the door jamb. So you can see I've moved it over the years just to keep what I had going. I mean, why run out to the store and spend $20? It isn't the money. I mean, what's $20? It's not the money. It's just the fact that the old damper would be in the bottom of the Indian Ocean by now if I didn't reuse it and get the most out of it. So for me, it's not about the money. It's about just repurposing and reusing things. So anyway, but we don't get that these days. We're too busy distracting ourselves with all these fancy technological things and reading and writing and going to school 8 hours a day and then getting a degree in college that nobody ever uses, so they sit around some more. It's just, the question I was asking myself basically is, if all we need is water and food for survival, then why do we spend all our downtime, just distracting ourselves from that reality? So what is reality? Is reality just eating and drinking water? Or is reality really not doing anything and letting somebody else take care of us our entire lives? I don't know, it's just an interesting question. Let me go see what I can drum up in the basement. Maybe there's I'd hate to think that there might be another one of these downstairs before I jimmy rig something, but let me pause this for a second and see if I can find another one of those downstairs, which I doubt highly. So I was downstairs in the basement, and I was about to say the only thing I found were cobwebs and cardboard boxes strewn around the floor from Christmas. God, I hate Christmas. When all of a sudden, just as I was about to give up and I looked again, I found one. And I don't know. It's only got one mounting hole, which is interesting. But I did the storm door in the front. I actually replaced the whole door, and I did a bang up job. That was before my YouTube days. So in the back of my mind, in my subconscious, I knew there might be one of these downstairs, and by golly, if it wasn't for what's left of my old memory, God, no drinking in January is already paying off. I just don't know why there's only one screw hole on this, but that should do it. And really, that's where the you can see on this one, that's where it broke, is on this side. That's where all the torque must have been, and that's why there's only one screw here maybe. But let me go see if I can, that looks like it's gonna work. Let me, and I had some anchors originally in my hand from the basement that were a little big to go in those holes. I thought those holes might have been a little wider. These might work, or since I have a different footprint for my bracket, it might not even be necessary and I can find a space on there. So before I go taking it and doing what I usually do, which is rushing off and putting something together without trying it first, let me mock this up. Put that pin back in. Let me mock this up and see if it's going to work. There's another pin on this end for the bracket. Get all greasy. There's another pin there, and that holds onto here, and it's gonna slide that way, this way. How's it slide? It open, it goes that way. I think it's gonna want to go this way. I probably used the wrong pin on the wrong side. Nope, there it goes. So if that goes there, when I go to open it, let me get the screw out and let me get my hands working on the screws and see if I can at least convince myself this is the right direction before I sock it all down, only to find out that I screwed up. So hold on a second. Trying to get this anchor in here. It's a little tight, so I'm gonna tap it in with a hammer. So it's secure, or at least set in there properly. Yeah, that's probably so tight that I can't get the screw in, but let's, I only got one anchor screw, or one screw anchor. Let's see if this thing will go. Where'd I put the bracket? I don't know. As I'm screwing this in, the anchor's coming out instead of the screw going in. Something tells me this is for nothing. God, I wished I had a life. Sure would be much easier to raise cattle and grow vegetables than screwing this into the wall. Something tells me I got this on backwards, but I gave up caring. I'd rather screw it again. See, now I risk over tightening it because it's just kind of sliding around in there. And you can see it's shit. It already wants to back out. It's wiggling in there. You know, these are the kind of things, real life brings you, you know? It's like, real life isn't just paying a carpenter to come out here and replace your entire door for a couple grand. Real life is finding shit in the basement and trying to make it work, even though you're wasting your entire evening. Well, as an experiment, we're going to, even if it pulls right out in 2 seconds, we're going to at least see if the concept is okay. And then we'll, and then, you know, if it lasts the evening at least, I can work on, if it lasts the evening, I can work on a better plan tomorrow now that I know I have a bracket. But yeah, but that's not gonna. So now that I've got that in, and the damper, you can see the damper doesn't reach the thing. So I have to pull on it like a victim, find the hole, put the other pin back in, and voila. There we go. Another KAFKUBA makeshift crappy repair on this old house. And you can see it's wiggling like the bejesus. But that'll get us through the night. And I have a good bracket. Maybe I can figure out some other thing tomorrow. They also sell these door jamb repair plates that extend beyond the damaged area, and there's a couple holes here for screwing, a couple holes here, a couple holes here, and a couple holes here. So you're actually moving to a better location on the door jamb. And where the bracket attaches, there's 4 machine screws that then machine into the screw into the bracket. So you're not using these holes, you're actually connecting the damper bracket to the repair plate. And there's only one company I found online that sells them, and you can't find them at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. So they're like a specialty store for cheap losers like me. But we're gonna let that be for now. I made a video, I got the trash up, the recyclables didn't come. I mean, this day is not really turning out. I mean, for the first day of no drinkuary, you know, this has been a challenge, but you know, it's not like I'm a raging alcoholic or something like that. I could handle it. But there you go. Another enormously interesting video from KAFKUBA. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.